this is Ree here. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate everyone. Thank you so much for liking and commenting on this video. It helps me a lot. And don't forget to check out my website, paradxastrology.com. I am a professional astrologer and I'm here to help you with anything. Okay, let's get into this video. I'm going to start it with this quote. Now, this was written 5,000 years ago by sage Veda, and it's very accurate to what's happening today. Cities will be dominated by thieves. Vedas will be contaminated by speculative interpretations of atheist political leaders, will virtually consume citizens, and the so-called priests and intellectuals will be devotees of their beliefs and genitals. So kind of sounds like what's happening today. Let's talk about the Vedas and what has been stolen so far and how accurate that prediction really is. Everything that we have in our modern world is based in the Vedas. People in our modern world have used this information in order to create certain things, and they're misusing it. They give us fake personalities in Hollywood as celebrities, and they give us fake backgrounds of these people. And we're taught to look up to them as if they're gods, and they're not. And none of it is real. And it's just a distraction from our true selves. So we have to break that distraction. All these scientific discoveries are actually using the information from the Vedas, because the Vedas are the foundation of science, cosmology, astronomy, astrology. Even deeper, it's a spiritual science. That's why Jyotish, Vedic astrology, is the eye of the Vedas. It's all a spiritual science, but it's been taken and used and manipulated. This website, I love the way it talks about it because it's very straightforward. paradxastrology.com talks about how Sanatan Hindus, Rashis warn kings of every yug, Sata Yug, Treta Yug, Dwapar Yug, and Kali Yug, not to make Mahayantras, advanced machines destroying resources of Mother Earth, or future human generations would face a wrath in forms of shrinking land, erratic weather, floods, earthquakes, and the dissemination of the species and animals. Several animals will commit mass suicide and stop contributing to the ecosystem of this earth to oppose the so-called technology developments of the Mahayatras. Conscious level of animals would supersede that of humans if humans rely on such machines. Hindu sages were right, and we are all witnessing it today. So that's why I'm saying that it's really been misused. I see people who understand the Vedas but still worship people like, we're going to talk about Newton, Hitler, and we still see today people are praising certain individuals based on the technology that they brought to this world without realizing that they took this technology from the knowledge of the Vedas. Most of them actually lied and didn't do it themselves, and were given a false story because we're given fake celebrities, fake idols to worship. So we have to break that. This is the other reason why it's important to know this. So I'm going to read this part of the website. It was not the love of local culture, as later falsely claimed by Westerners when several of their theories and experiments failed. Over 100,000 fatal accidents have occurred in the 19th century alone by wrongly using Vedic principles due to half-baked implications of knowledge that also made them translators or writers of dictionaries. These also killed several thousand slaves and Indians who were used as guinea pigs for experiments. It was a wicked plan to loot the local culture and then later claim it as its own. If they have loved local culture, they would have attributed their findings to Vedic culture and kept high regards for local languages and not destroyed the original culture. Also never have tried to push Anglicization on the natives. And that's what I mean. If people told us, such as Newton, such as, well, Tesla did attribute some of his findings to Indian culture, and so I think he did, but they took his inventions from him. But also all the inventions that Hitler did, everyone says how advanced they were, and then how the Westerners took the machines and the technology from the Nazis. But the Nazis were able to do that using the Vedas. And it wasn't intended to be used that way. It's not intended to be used, like he said, like someone's translating a dictionary. This is spiritual information. So the reason why Hitler was able to do that because he had someone translate it. He had contact with a renowned scholarly priest, Andhra Pradesh. So he had him translate it. For him, the true intent was supposed to be for the university to help German scholars who were working with Hitler to decipher the Sanskrit hymns and understand the knowledge inscribed in the Yajar and the Atharva Veda. And so it is said that the first successful implications of this knowledge was seen as a result of the face of the pulse jet engines, which were designed with their V8 rocket called the buzz bombs. They were saying that Hitler was also trying to find Shambhala, which is the birthplace of Kalki Avatar, which according to the ancient scriptures holds eternal power and control of mankind. Also, the periodic table of elements in 1869, Dmitry Mendeleev created the periodic table of elements, and he was famous for his quote that resides in the wisdom of the Vedas. Nothing is lost. Matter only transforms from one state to another. Right from the sutra and the other details, the Vedas are full of classifications, including the elements. The sum total of the creative elements is 24 in all. Each and every one of them is explicitly explained in the system of the Shankhya philosophy. Shankhya philosophy is generally called metaphysics by the European scholars. The etymology meaning of Sankhya is that which explains very lucidly by the analysis of the material elements. This was done for the first time by Lord Kapila, who is said to herein to be the fifth in line of incarnations. When you're in the West, they tell you that they invented this and it was this person and this. We're never told that this information was in the Vedas. We're never told that. And if people really wanted to have us learn, they would tell us that. So then we could study that and come up with our own inventions. But they don't want us to do that. They also tell us that astrology isn't real, and then that's from the Vedas, but then they pick other things from the Vedas and then say that they invented it. Now there's also Newton. Newton's law of motion actually came from Kanad. That was not created in 16th century AD. He had it at 6th or 2nd century BC. So you see, that's why there's nothing new under the sun. If you got it from there, that's okay, but don't say you invented it and give us a false history, because then we'll never find our ancestors that way. So those are just a couple examples of some major things that were created. There's way more. Einstein, basically everything in modern science. All the calculations are from the Vedas, calculations of the planets, taking that information and misusing it and giving us a false reality on how the planets really are and a false space system. The cosmology doesn't really look like that. It's stolen ancient information used to brainwash us. And I'm going to make another video about my theories about the music industry and how it stole the melodies from the Vedas, because the Vedas have all the mantras, the Sanskrit mantras that literally create life from within. These sounds really affect you, and it's causing problems within people and having them manifest things they don't want. That was just a short video, and thank you so much for watching. I appreciate everyone, and I'll see you in the next one.